This is Pro Series Off Topic.
Welcome back to Pro Series Off Topic. This is episode 113. I'm almost positive it is. Yes, it is. I should check that. It was a long weekend. I will talk about George Strait that I went to yesterday in a little bit. But I hope you enjoyed Pro Series this past week, episode 193 with Dudley Duncan. He was a swim coach turned business owner. Really cool way how he went from coaching to business. We kind of talk about that transformation from one profession to the other, but kind of staying in the same profession. It was a great episode. He also has a book, so we talk about his book and being an author, and the future of being an author. So if you have not heard that yet, 193 with Dudley Duncan is out. It was out midweek. We have another one coming out next week, which I'll talk about at the end of the episode. It is more to do with the design community. So if you are part of it, you should be excited about this one because it was a really awesome interview and I learned so much. And I'm almost positive it's a close to an hour episode. So if you have a long car ride, this is a perfect episode for you. But let's get into it. I want to talk about Instagram stories, and then I'll get into country music, George Strait, new music, all that stuff. But I want to talk about Instagram stories. I have always been a proponent on Instagram stories. I never let them go dry. I always tell people never let your Instagram stories go dry, even if it's a song you're posting or just, the day in the life of you, just like what you're eating for lunch, like anything. It just allows people to know that you are still a business, you are still active on social media, you care about your account, you care about your followers, all that stuff. If you follow me at Eric Dillman Designs on social media, you'll see me. I post all kinds of stuff, from my podcast to my dog to things in my house or country music or really anything. And I find the stuff that is not pertaining to the design community, to what I mostly do on social media, gets the most attention. So if I go on a random rant, which I'm trying to do more of, I just get very uncomfortable recording in my car by myself. I just feel weird. I know it's very normal to some people, but podcasting felt weird to me in the beginning. Taking pictures of myself was very weird in the very beginning. So I am pushing myself to do that, and I get a lot of traction on those and a lot of engagement on those. So I'm going to try to do more. But for the most part, it is just videos and stills of me in my day-to-day life. But I want to talk about this. So if you want to keep people watching your Instagram stories, I have a magic number for you. According to Social Insider, posting up to 5 stories per day can get you 70% retention rate. That's huge. But if your content does not hook them at first, they're out. So it's that fast. Biggest drop, 13% leave after the first story. Then another 10% after the second. And then 8% after the third. So here's the trick. Make your first 3 seconds count. Make a hook, polls, bold visuals, whatever that grabs them. Save this podcast in your back pocket whenever you need to go back to it. But a good thing is start with like a story, like start with the ending of a story, and then you start talking about it because people are going to be drawn in. Kind of, it's like that TikTok effect. Always have that first couple seconds to give you that hook to get people to draw them in. But Instagram stories are such a huge thing, and it's to the point where so many people aren't using them. And I think people still think of it as their main feed, when your Instagram stories don't need to be perfect. Even your feed posts don't need to be perfect, but your stories definitely, in particularly, don't need to be perfect. They are meant to be, your day-to-day life, taking pictures of what you're doing for that day, eat what you're eating, music, your dog, your family, where you're at, wherever that stuff is. Use polls. That's a huge thing. Get people voting. I follow so many designers that will put they'll do a rendering and they're like, do you like this kitchen in this color or do you like it in this stain? And they'll have a poll on it, make it interactive, even though their customer probably already picked a stain or something, but maybe they gave their customer 2 options. Put it in a poll on the story and then maybe put it in your feed as well. It is a great way to get interaction. It's a great way to get more followers. Put hashtags in your into your stories. I know a lot of people are kind of like iffy on if hashtags are actually working in the meta's first, if you want to call it that, but I still think they do. But that's huge. And then I want to do some crazy fun facts about Instagram users. I bet you don't know the country that has the most Instagram users. You're probably thinking the United States has the most Instagram users, but you'd be wrong. 87.77% of Instagram users are from India. Out of the 1.39 billion users are living on the outsides of the United States. India is the country with the most numbers of Instagram users at 180 million users. This is followed by the United States at 170 million, behind Brazil, Indonesia, Russia, Turkey, Japan, Mexico, United Kingdom, and then Germany. That is crazy. I know India is the most populated, but I always just thought it was the U.S. because I feel like so many people have more than one account, and you're probably thinking people have more than one account, and you're looking at someone that has more than one account. So it's, you have business account, maybe you have your family account, you have your personal account, or if you have multiple businesses like myself. I thought that was a crazy fun fact until we get into country music. I want to start and talk about George Strait. Yesterday, great concert. Freezing cold. It was the last day of May, and it was like the high of maybe the 52, 54. Freezing cold. The wind was blowing. It's not what you think of a summer country concert, which really killed the vibe. But all three artists, Parker McCollum, Chris Stapleton, and George Strait, all sounded amazing. The stadium was packed. One thing that I did notice was the stage is a lot smaller, but in reality, after listening to them, all three of those artists are they're more stationary artists, so they kind of just stand there for the most part and sing because their voices are so good. They're not like a running across stage like Kenny or Carrie or Garth, and doing other stuff on stage that is entertaining. So, but other than that, if George or Chris Stapleton or Parker McCollum are coming to your city, go see it. It was a bucket list item for me. I'm glad I got to see it. It was a crazy, crazy concert, but it was absolutely freezing. I don't understand how we're already in June. It's going by so fast, but I feel like we have been through 9 winters, 9 springs, and a couple summers already, and we're only 6 months into the year. Pittsburgh weather is so unpredictable, and it's so weird that we are here at June 1st, and I'm wearing a sweatshirt. It's just odd, but that's Pittsburgh weather for you. Let's get into the top 5, and then we'll talk about new music this week, changing it up a bit. Number 5 on the media-based chart is This Heart, Corey Kent. Number 4, Am I Okay, Megan Maroney. Number 3, Worst Way, Riley Green. Number 2, I'm the Problem, Morgan Wallen. And number 1, Whiskey Drink by Jason Aldean, which is his 30th number 1 single, which is absolutely insane. If you look at the list of artists who have the most number ones, it's crazy that he's already at the top, close to the top. With obviously George being the very top, and maybe we'll go into a whole nother off-topic episode just breaking down the top artists and how many number ones they have. It's just a crazy, crazy number to have 30 number ones, and he really started his career in the early 2000s. So that is insane. That's more than one a year. Yeah, I could do math. Let's get into new music this week. First up, Dustin Lynch, Easy to Love. It's very catchy, very good, like summery vibes. This whole week was a bunch of summery vibes in the country music. Definitely check that one out. Cam came out with a new song called Academy. It's decent. I was really excited because I love old Cam. But this new stuff is a bit different. But maybe it will just grow on me. Hudson Westbrook is coming out with his new album, Texas Forever. came out the lead single for, or the lead song for that, Texas Forever, which is not bad. Nico Moon, another artist that just sings a bunch of cool summery music, came out with a song called Sandcastles, which, in my opinion, was probably my second favorite song of the week, going into my number one song of the week. And that is Brian Kelly, who was one half of Florida Georgia Line. His new song, Saltwater Ranch, such a perfect summery country song, windows down in a beach town type of music. And I feel like that's the vibe he's going for in his overall catalog of music. And I love that. I think it's totally different from what he had with FGL. And he's kind of just making his own lane in country music, which is awesome. So go check that out. It's Brian Kelly with Saltwater Ranch. And then next up, The War and Treaty came up with a song called Feels Like Home. Anything War and Treaty comes out with is absolutely amazing. Their voices are insane. I need to see them live. I think they're coming to Pittsburgh soon. They are just two people that just seem like they are genuinely the nicest people in the world, and their music shows it, and their voices are just absolutely amazing together. Go check that out. It's called Feels Like Home by The War and Treaty. That's all we have this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed episode 193. 194 will be out midweek. It is with Paul Grothaus. He is the founder of Grothaus Countertops. It's a wood butcher block company that does some insane work in the countertop world. And we talk about everything from how he got started to countertop charging for phones to just the industry in general. It was such an awesome episode. And again, I think it was around an hour long episode. So if it's a great one for if you're in between appointments or going on a long road trip. But look forward to that midweek. That's all I have this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoy the rest of your week. It looks like the weather's actually getting warm. Hopefully it will stay like that for the next 5 months. We'll see. But other than that, have a great rest of the weekend, and we'll talk next week.